Everyone, I am now joined by Lori Trotter, and Lori Trotter is a volunteer member with the Real Talk Youth Impact Program, and she's also returning to our show for the second time, so welcome back, Lori.
Thank you.
Give me your opinions on the 5-year anniversary of the Real Talk Youth Impact Program. I know that you've been up there guest speaking with these, or not guest speaking, but mentoring these kids throughout the program. How long have you been with Real Talk?
A little over 2 years now.
Okay. How was the 5-year anniversary a little bit different atmosphere from the other times?
You know, it was really just, it touched my heart. Just recently I decided that I wanted to be more committed to the program. I see Cherie's heart, and I see, you know, I know it's gonna just blow up, and I want to help her all that I can. I want to help her open up in other states. I want to be just more of a part of this, because it changed my life just to be a part of it. You know, it gives me accountability, and to see all these people who have come from the criminal system, you know, coming from that, youths not having the proper guidance, just not having people before us. We need this. It's something we need, and it's something I believe in, and it's something I want to dedicate more of myself to.
Now, had you heard about the Miss Batista story prior to actually meeting her that
I had
evening?
not.
What did you think about that inspirational message that Cherie gave the kids that evening? That the fact that had it not been for her mentoring her when she was a youth and taking her through all of these activities, she wouldn't have been able to experience the dreams and some of the things that she's accomplished in life.
You know, that I never knew that, and just to know that somebody, all we need is that opportunity. Just as she talked about opportunity, and all we need is that hand down, come, go this way. Instead of, and you're going to have to be different than your friends, and you're going to have to say no, and you're going to have to take the high road, because you don't want to go down to where they are. You want to be the one to bring them where you are. And that's what I talk about a lot when I talk about things. Sometimes you're going to have to change your association, and you're going to have to leave people behind.
And that can be difficult sometimes.
Definitely.
Well, one of the things that Cherie talks about a lot, and also Miss Batista touched on, is the ripple effect. You have no idea how just an action from one member or addressing the right child at the right time can put a spark in them or change something in them. And that's what it's all about.
Yes, yes. Just believing in somebody, letting a child know, because a kid, we're kids. We don't know how to believe in ourselves. And, you know, I call it generational curses. When our parents couldn't teach us because they weren't taught. And something I've learned from my own daughter is positive parenting. Instead of us picking out all the wrong and the bad and what's wrong with us as kids, let's point out their good characteristics, because it's all in there. But let's reach in, let's pick that out, let's pull that out in our kids and our youth. Because we're like, when I went to church when I was a kid, I always felt so condemned and bad,
right,
that I just wanted nothing to do with church, you know, or God. And, you know, I found my way back, because I know God is love, but it was just a very negative experience for me. And like I say, we have to break these generational curses, and we have to learn how to pull out the good.
Absolutely. How have you seen the program change, Lori, over the past 2 years?
Wow, I've just seen the people coming to speak, to volunteer. I just listen to their stories and how amazing they are as people. And I don't even think they realize, the volunteers, I don't even think they realize how amazing they are. And I know it's a struggle for them getting out of prison, changing their life, staying on the right track. And not everybody's, gonna stay there. Some people have went back. Some people, it's easy to get caught up again. But we have to choose to separate ourselves, like we said, and just the kids and the people coming in to give their services, more people just getting the exposure that we need is making the program grow.
Now, your mom was there.
Yeah.
What kind of feedback have you been getting from her?
My mom, I gotta say, my mom and I didn't get along when I was a child. My mom, I think it's the way my mom was raised as well. She favored my brothers, and I think it's maybe, I don't know if it's a Latino thing or whatever, but my mom favored my brothers, and she abused me as a child, and we've healed our wounds, and it's
Great.
all good. I love my mom to death, but it took a lot of changing in me, but the only words I ever wanted to hear from my mom was, "I'm proud of you." As a kid, that's all I ever wanted to hear from my mom. And to hear my mom say, "I'm so proud of you, little girl." That's all I need.
That's amazing.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay. When you're up there speaking to the kids, I know part of that is they get to ask you questions sometimes. Do you remember the question that was posed to you at the Change One recently?
No, I spoke this time, so I didn't get a question. However, one of the questions that was asked to me that that really hits home for me was, how do you wake up every day and stay positive? And for me, that was really just me saying, wow, yeah, how do I do that? And I said, yeah, every day I don't wake up and feeling like everything is peachy keen, and I feel like smiling, and I feel like going to the gym or going for a walk, or sometimes I wake up and I'm in my head, and sometimes I wake up and I feel overwhelmed, and sometimes I wake up and I seriously, sometimes I go like this to myself, oh, God, I'm just a loser. I'm just a loser. Look at all I did. I'm not doing anything. I get in my head sometimes too.
And I believe that happens a lot. Yeah. I mean, what kind of advice would you give to someone who has transgressed and now they're trying to make amends, they're trying to get back into society and reclaim their self-respect? What advice can you give to that person?
You just gotta get up and do it. Like Nike says, just do it. Just get in. Because coming from the background we all come from, being criminals, I should say, we feel less than, we feel stupid, we feel like we don't know anything about what's out there, how to talk. But you know what we do? We do, and we're not stupid, because if we all did what we did and we were those kind of hustlers, we just got to turn that hustle around. Mm-hmm. And you just got to get back up and do it again. Every time you fall off, you just got to get back up and jump right back in.
Why are you doing this through Real Talk?
Because I believe our youth is our future. And if we don't, where is our world going to go? And for me, the kids, man, we got to pour love into them. We got to show them that they matter. And these young girls, men, and these teenagers thinking they know what love is, and you can't even love right if you don't even have self-respect. And let me tell you something, that is one of the biggest things, self-love, and learning not to put up and with the crap from some male or female.
Right.
Abuse is abuse, whether it comes from one side. And you gotta have healthy boundaries, and we gotta teach these kids what healthy boundaries are, because nobody taught me. And that's what I say, I'm not mad at my parents. My parents didn't know because they weren't taught.
Well, Real Talk is reaching its 5-year mile marker, or has reached its 5-year mile marker. How do you see your role as a member evolving once the program goes across state lines?
I want to be knowledgeable enough to learn the court systems, to be able to go in, help Cherie open up a program in another state, to go to the courts to say, this is what we do, this is where we're headed, this is what we want to do for these youth. And so I want to learn the ins and outs.
That's a good goal to have. When we come back, we're going to be talking about or talking to a parent who has 2 children that were enrolled in the Real Talk Youth Impact Program. They're volunteering. Stay with us. We want to talk more on this anniversary of the Real Talk program.